What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Monday night or Tuesday morning. Tuesday morningers, y'all know what I always remind you. It's not the best day, but it's not a Monday, and we made it through Monday. If we made it through Monday, then that's a good sign. My Monday nighters, be happy that you made it through Monday, and it's Monday night. All right? I got a great show set up for you guys. I got... why am I looking over there? All right, I got one breaking story. Well, it's not really breaking. It's really a follow-up from yesterday. The Breakfast Club could lose over $100 million, and Charlamagne Tha God could personally have to pay out millions out of his own pocket. In lead stories, we're going to talk to you about Maga being upset that Bad Bunny is performing at the Superbowl halftime show. There are still lies going on about the Michigan church unaliver. Terence Crawford held by GUN point after his parade. Multiple issues with ICE agents in Chicago. Trump imposing a 100% tariff on movies, and Kash Patel makes shocking claims about Tupac's Godmother. Y'all know that we do not play about Tupac, all right? So we'll get into that. In quick news, we're going to talk Young Thug, Treads, Megan Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson, DJ Vlad, Davis, Celeste, and Blueface. Yeah, remember him? We got an update from jail. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussions of the day, and everyone's favorite question of the day. Did I say that? Questions, comments, social discussion, whatever. All right. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Woo! I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right. Our first breaking story, like I said earlier, more like a follow-up story. Dame dashed with a message to Charlamagne or for Charlamagne. Do not try to compromise my reputation. He posted this on Instagram. He said, Charlamagne, I would advise you not to make up phony stories without real names saying that anything I said was not true, or we will have a legal problem. Do not try to compromise my reputation. I have proof to support everything. I have proof to support everything I say that will stand up in any court. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see yesterday's show, I'm going to run a quick clip from an interview that Dame Dash did. And then yesterday I told you that I'm going to follow up and find out some information. I spoke with some people in Dame's camp that I have for you. This is true. This is going down. And according to Dame and his team and some other people, he has a chance. All right. Like yesterday, there are some things that I am going to choose not to do or to say. Y'all know I'm an honorable member of the Breakfast Club. I am close with Charlamagne and the team. I will be with him next week at his Mental Wealth Alliance Expo for the third year in a row. So just want to be transparent to that. But regardless of that, I am going to just let everybody know everything that's going on and try to keep my bias out of it and let you guys know what's up. All right. So a quick reminder. Here is what Dame said. Take a listen.
Why I'm suing the Breakfast Club and everyone that was in that whole circle and scene. The thing is, we on the radio, so the people that have been with me, and I think it's been illegal the way they've been with me. I look at what the President Donald Trump does. He sues people. What I didn't like is that they were lying. I didn't like that no matter what they saw, they were saying the opposite and putting a negative slant on it and not celebrating it. And what I really didn't like is the way they had interviewed Ben Shapiro, someone that triggers our culture constantly. They gave him the utmost respect. They let him talk. I mean, it was almost like they were kissing.
Okay, so a few things to note that I got from somebody who I spoke to. Well, we all know Dame Dash is presently filing for bankruptcy, all right? I think he's actually in bankruptcy right now. A lot of the people, his creditors, are trying to contest his bankruptcy for reasons of fraud. Okay, let's just put it that way. And they're saying that Dame has money. He's moved it around in other places, and he doesn't really only have $4,000 to his name. And he said he has $4,000 in assets and I think $100 cash or something. All right. He doesn't have any homes. He doesn't have any assets, etc. Now, Dame went on the Breakfast Club and says that which I don't know why he did this, but he said, yo, when you're smart, when you're a multimillionaire, and when you know how to move around, you don't have things in your name, you have things in your family office. He used that word a lot, family office. And he said that he has houses, he has this. So these creditors obviously saw this interview and now is using it against them. Now, what Dame Dash is trying to do, and some people are dragging him for this, but I actually spoke with some legal experts, and there might be something to this. Now, from what I'm hearing is that Dame Dash used this as a setup. He went on the Breakfast Club knowing that this would be national. I mean, Breakfast Club is probably the biggest radio show in, hip hop, music, entertainment, and definitely, top 10 over all genres. Okay. So he used this moment to try to set up the Breakfast Club so that he could in turn sue them for defamation. Now, also important to note that Dame is not only doing this to the Breakfast Club, but he's doing it to 2 other people. Okay. This is where the setup comes in. He is apparently suing Cameron, and he's apparently suing Revolt. During the interview, he told Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club that he was going to be the chairman of Revolt with an option and a pathway to ownership. Lauren LaRosa, shout out to Lauren, just saw her last week at the Diddy trial, and I'll see her this Friday. Right after the Dame interview, she contacted Revolt, and Revolt said, no, that's not true. Again, Dame used this as a situation to set up both Revolt and the Breakfast Club to say that you guys are defaming me because I have proof that I was supposed to be the chairman, et cetera, and now you guys are defaming me and you're not making me look, in the proper way. You're defaming me, right? Now, when it gets back to Charlamagne, he says that he also didn't like how the Breakfast Club has been covering him altogether, not only the interview, but that's the setup. For years, they've been saying these things about me. They've been defaming me. They've been telling me people that I'm broke. They've been telling people I don't have money. They've been telling people I have an attitude. And how does that look when I'm going to court, Your Honor, when this nationally syndicated Hall of Fame radio show led by Charlamagne Tha God, how does that look to me? It doesn't give me an opportunity to file for bankruptcy. That's why these people are contesting it. It's all Charlamagne's fault. Hold on, stay with me. He also said that Charlamagne insulted him during the interview. He also said, no matter what I showed them, they always thought I was lying. For example, he told Char and the Breakfast Club, hey, I had this new documentary coming out. They were like, yeah, okay, whatever. He's like, yeah, I'm going to show you. He's like, okay, well, where is it going to be? I doubt that's going to be on Revolt. Do they want it? It was a lot of back and forth. So him being the chairman of Revolt, and he also alluded to the fact that he feels that Charlamagne is really just a mouthpiece for Jay-Z. By the way, these are things coming from Dame's camp itself, okay? This is who I spoke to and got the notes. Just stick with me. I'm going to bring this all back to the setup and why this might actually work. Stick with me. So the last thing is that he feels like Charlamagne is a mouthpiece for Jay-Z. Now, a lot of people have said that in the industry, that Char may have, be in some sort of management style or management relationship with Roc Nation, that, the Breakfast Club never really says anything bad about Jay-Z. When Nicki Minaj had that 3 or 4 day rant about Jay-Z and Roc Nation, it really wasn't covered on the Breakfast Club. A lot of people have said the Breakfast Club never says anything about Jay-Z. Char has even gone as far to wear a t-shirt that says blame everything on Roc Nation. So my whole thing is that Char has never hidden the fact that he's a supporter of Jay-Z. And during this interview, Dame pointed out the fact that he was wearing a Roc Nation shirt, like a paper plane shirt. And he's like, how could you come interviewing me? You know I got beef with Jay. Why would you be wearing a shirt? You're antagonizing me. So with all of this said, there's a lot of people online that are like, this Dame is suing Revolt. He's suing Cameron. He's suing this or whatever. And this is him just, throwing Hail Marys out. He's filing for bankruptcy. What does he have to lose? Now, I spoke with, again, Dame's people, but I also spoke with a lawyer, and here's the, the caveat. 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 The ca The Breakfast Club is hosted by Iheart Radio. They're a conglomerate. The fact that the Breakfast Club is on Iheart Radio, if Dame could make a big enough case and a big enough stink, Iheart Radio is not going to want these kind of problems. I'm not saying he's going to be successful with it. I'm just saying, y'all know how civil suits work. Hey, you defamed me. Your radio hosts have been saying this, been saying that, whatever, blah, 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 from my first interview 10 years ago. And I've been the constant butt of your jokes. And every time I go in to a meeting, I lose millions of dollars because they say the Breakfast Club said this about me. The Breakfast Club said. And how defamation works is if you could prove that you try to, tell them it's not true, tell them to stop talking about it, then if you have that proof, then a judge will sometimes award the defamation case. That's what Cardi B, that's how Cardi B won against Tasha K. Tasha K was saying a bunch of things. She sent a lawyer letter saying, please stop saying this about me. The things you're saying are not true. They're not true. They're not true. Tasha K kept on doubling down and was like, all right, cool. Same thing was happening with the France First Lady and Prime Minister suing Candace Owens. They have sent numerous amounts of letters saying, I was born a woman. Please stop saying this. Candace Owens says, I'm not going to say it. You gave them a chance to not saying it. Now they're suing her for defamation. I think, $50 or $100 million. Candace Owens is not backing down. So I bring that back to Dame Dash, and anybody who's a Breakfast Club listener, you know that he has been always the butt of their jokes. Now, him setting up this interview this way, again, the fact that they're produced and hosted by Iheart Radio is the little piece of nuance that they might just be like, I don't want to deal with this. Here's 10 million. He'll sue for 100, 200 million. If Dame gets 5 million out of it to stop talking, there's nothing to Iheart Radio. Now, on the flip side, Charlamagne on his podcast, Brilliant Idiots, he has addressed this issue of people saying Ben Shapiro was on the Breakfast Club and they treated Ben Shapiro a certain way and they treated Dame Dash a completely different way. And they're like, when a white, person comes on your show with some kind of intellect, you guys don't really challenge them. But then a black person of our culture, you treat them a different way. And Charlamagne basically said what I said when I spoke about this, and I totally agree with Char with this. Again, this is not being biased, but Ben Shapiro came in the office, in the interview, and had a conversation. This is my book I'm promoting. These are my views. And they went back and forth. They talked about issues. Dame came into the interview like a homie. And he came in like how I thought they would come in a friendship kind of barbershop style. And that's not Charlamagne or the Breakfast Club's fault. He came in there with that kind of attitude. He didn't come in and say, hey guys, I know there's a bunch of stuff that happened in the last interview and it's been on whatever. Like, I want to talk seriously right now. I know Char, if you would have been like, yo, let's talk. Dame Dash was treating Char was treating Dame with the same energy that Dame gave Char. Okay, and that's not biased. You could go back and watch it. Dame said, yo, we could take this to the streets. Yo, we could throw hands. He called Charlamagne gay. He said a bunch of things back and forth. And while it wasn't like my favorite interview from Dame Dash and the Breakfast Club, I think the first one was a little bit better because it actually like sparked some conversation about black ownership and being a boss, etc., which we won't get into now. I felt like it kind of fell short on both sides, and it was just like two homies going back and forth. And let's not get it twisted. Envy and Dame both are music guys. They've known each other for 20, 30 years. So any kind of interview kind of beef, like they have a relationship. So to me, it was like barbershop talk. But again, there's barbershop talk and there's court, right? And that has been recorded. It's there. And from what I'm hearing, Dame knew what he was doing. And the setup was, let me go in there with this barbershop talk or whatever, blah, blah. I'm filing for bankruptcy. I'm not hosted by Iheart Radio. I'm not hosted by a platform that they could sue. They can't sue me. I owe $20,000 to the government. How's Iheart Radio going to counter sue? But he has an opportunity to sue personally Charlamagne, I heard that he's trying to bring a personal suit against him and he might have to pay out, who knows. But the bigger play is suing Iheart Radio. And even though it might be a frivolous lawsuit, and although even it might be a stretch, you see this guy that is suing Tyler Perry for $250 million. If this unknown actor, Tyler Perry, pays him $2 or $3 million, that's a win. If Dame gets out there and this keeps on building up and building up, I heard a couple of other YouTubers talking about it. If this builds up, iHeart might just be like, oh my gosh, can you be quiet? Here's $2 or $3 million. So that's the plan. That is the move, unbiased. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Do you think Dame is slick for doing this? Do you think that's dirty? Like I said, there is a friendship behind it. Do you think that it could anything could ever come out of this? And do you think the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne should have seen this coming and not do that kind of barbershop kind of interview? Again, they got backlash from just the culture that they feel like they didn't treat him like how they treated Ben Shapiro. So that is it. Sound off below and let me know what you guys think. All right, our first lead story. Bad Bunny confirmed for Super Bowl 60 halftime show, February the 8th, 2026. Okay, I'm sure all of you know by now that that announcement has been made. I'm going to read to you a tweet that Bad Bunny put out. I'm going to read to you what Sean Carter, Jay-Z, has said. But then I'm going to read to you a little excerpt from an article that's showing you that Maga is not too happy, all right? So Bad Bunny said, I've been thinking about it these days, and after talking with my team, I think I'll do one date in the United States, Super Bowl. Jay-Z said, what Bad Bunny has done and continues to do for Puerto Rico is truly aspiring. We are honored to have him on the world's biggest stage. All right, like I said to you, a lot of people are not happy from the MAGA world. For those of you who don't know the background, actually, let me see. Maybe this article might tell you, and then I'll let you know. Latin superstar Bad Bunny has been announced as a performer as Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show for February the 8th, 2026 in Santa Clara, California. The move marks a significant milestone for the representation of Latin music on one of the world's biggest entertainment stages. It also has been met with swift backlash from the MAGA movement. Newsweek has reached out to the NFL and Rock Nation, the executive producers of halftime show, outside of regular working hours via email for comment. Bad Bunny's selection comes hot on the wheels of a massive year for the 31-year-old who was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Long credited for helping to popularize Spanish music, rap music, this year he released his 7th album and completed his historic 30-date residency in San Juan. The Super Bowl halftime show is a massive cultural event and generally draws more than 100 million viewers, providing massive global exposure for artists. Bad Bunny's real name, etc., has been a vocal critic of President Donald Trump and previously spoke out about avoiding U.S. performances due to the concerns over the ICE raids. That he will perform at the Super Bowl on one of the world's most prominent cultural stages has sparked controversy. Bad Bunny sings in Spanish and has called upon Super Bowl for has called getting the Super Bowl a victory for my people, my culture, and my history. This announcement was met with vocal backlash from MAGA Voices, who has been critical of the Super Bowl performances and the NFL broadly in recent years, criticizing it as woke. A controversial person said on X, this viewpoint has been viewed close to 500,000 times. Is it that hard to pick a unifying musical act who doesn't want to peddle woke propaganda? Does this guy really scream American football to anyone? Be for real with me. Nobody thinks he does. This isn't about music. It's about putting a guy on stage who hates Trump and MAGA. Another person wrote, the NFL is self-destructing year after year, in a post that got 1.5 million views. The response from MAGA is unsurprising, as the NFL has frequently become a flashpoint for online culture wars over the past years. This year, the high-profile controversy arose when some of the NFL teams having male cheerleaders and backlash, over Kendrick Lamar, blah, 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 blah. Let's see if there's anything else. Bad Bunny in a statement said this. Okay, I already read that to you, and then already read what Jay-Z wrote. Okay, so I have a little video also too from Bad Bunny, but just really in to like sum everything up, he has been vocal of saying, I'm not going to go to the US. I don't want to have concerts there because ICE is probably going to be at my concerts and try to scoop up some people from my concerts. So I'm not going to the US. So him actually doing this show at the Super Bowl, knowing that ICE is not going to come to the Super Bowl and try to round up anybody, is a win-win-win. Let me know, any MAGA supporters, anybody who you feel the opposite way, just let me know. As you know, this is a fair show here. We're not Democrat, we're not Republican. I love seeing things from both sides. I would understand the people who see it from the other side. That's what I do. I understand if you're like, hey, you don't want to ever come here. You don't want to ever go to our concerts because you're worried about your people. Okay, but why are you taking this opportunity now? It's just showing division. But that's not my viewpoint, but that's what these people are saying. Like, if you don't want to be here, just don't be here at all. But I look at it differently, and I think I agree with him where he has a right to take his stands for his people. And the NFL and Jay-Z are giving him an opportunity to showcase that stance. And the same way how we and I said about Charlie Kirk, where I don't necessarily agree with Charlie Kirk. I've said that every time I spoke about him. I totally disagree with any sort of political violence or whatever, but I don't agree with a lot of the things that he said. A lot of the things he said about black women were hurtful to me. A lot of the things he said about black people were hurtful to me. But I feel like he has his First Amendment right to say and to do whatever he wants. And the same thing applies to Bad Bunny. This is what's not fair. You guys just spent a week, the radical right MAGA people saying and fighting back against the, what do you want to call radical left, saying, we have a right for free speech. Charlie could do this, Charlie could do that. And I was like, you guys are right. You guys are right. But why can't Bad Bunny have that same opportunity on this global stage? You cannot have it both ways. It has to be equal opportunity. The right for free speech only works when it works on both sides. So I like this. Shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to the NFL for taking this chance, knowing that they're going to have backlash. Yeah, that's really about it. That's how I think. Let me know what you guys think about this, regardless of what side you're on. Is it fair? It's not. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, our second lead story. Here's what you need to know about the suspect in the Michigan church unaliving. Okay, I'm going to read this to you quickly. I let you guys know about this stuff that's really 100% not, sorry, I won't say 100%, but they're leaving out a lot of things with this person. I'm going to get through this quickly, and then I'm going to show you a clip from CNN that just shows you how they're not telling us the truth and how the people, let me just leave it vague, how the people are trying to set this up. And you know who those people are, okay? Thomas Jacob Stanford, a 40-year-old Iraq veteran, was named the suspect of the unaliving at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Michigan, which had at least 4 people unalived and 8 injured. Okay. He lived around 6 miles away. He graduated from high school in 2023. He was in the military. He was in the Marines. He served in Iraq. He was in the Marine Corps, etc. Okay. According to social media accounts linked to Stanford family, he was married with a young son. He had a GoFundMe page set up in 2015 to raise money to help him pay for medical care for Stanford's son, which had a rare genetic disorder, etc. FBI special agents said the Bureau is investigating the incident as an act of targeted violence and that we are still looking for a motive. Very clear, okay? They're still looking for a motive, okay? Now, I'm going to play something from you that was on Fox. Listen carefully, and then I'll point you in the direction that I'm trying to go in without getting in trouble. Take a listen.
that the FBI is currently executing multiple search warrants at the residences and the family homes of this perpetrator to try to get to the bottom of why he would commit such an act of evil. And the FBI is working with both state and local law enforcement, providing the full support of the federal government. From what I understand, based on my conversations with the FBI director, all they know right now is this was an individual who hated people of the Mormon faith.
How can in one breath you say, the FBI director tells me they have search warrants and they're searching to try to find out? They haven't found out anything yet, but we could tell you that this person hates Mormons and hates the Christian faith. If you guys remember on yesterday's episode, Trump said the similar thing. This is an act against people who are Christians. How do you know that when you haven't even started your investigation, sir? Here is more information. Listen to this.
The White House press secretary saying the FBI believes the gunman hated people of the Mormon faith. Talk a little bit about what you're hearing on that issue.
Wolf, I'm glad you brought that up because we spoke to a man named Chris. He's running for city council in the community of Burton. That's where this alleged shooter lived. And when my conversation with him, he actually spoke with that shooter just a week ago, and he said it was a cordial conversation, nothing political, but then the guy himself brought up his thoughts on guns and asked about his views on the Latter-day Saints community itself. We're speaking with him more later on today, but he said it was the gun who changed the conversation almost immediately, but none of the conversation raised a red flag for this potential city councilman. He said he didn't feel like he needed to report anything.
So the person who did the unaliving last week had a conversation about the church, about Mormons, and he said he didn't hear anything alarming. But now all of a sudden, a week later, this person hates them. I'm going to leave it at that, all right? My mom sent me a text today. She's like, yo, just be careful of the things that you're saying on your show. I'm worried about you. So I'm just going to leave it at that, all right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our third lead story. Terence held at GUN Point hours after a championship parade. After his championship parade. Okay, let's get into this. We posted this yesterday on our Instagram page, The Trend Out Loud Show. Make sure you follow that. I cannot play you a good chunk of the video because there's GUNs in here. And the fact that I can't even say GUN, this obviously means that I cannot show you GUN. So go on our Instagram page if you want to check it out. And but I can read you the caption, okay? Terrence Howard was pulled out of his car at GUN Point by a police officer in a tense encounter, which is now under investigation, which is under internal investigation. The viral video shows the boxer carefully unbuckling his seatbelt, opening the door, and stepping out as the officer points a flashlight in one hand and a GUN in the other. Throughout the exchange, the officer repeatedly orders Crawford to exit while Crawford keeps his hands risen, saying, "I am not reaching for no GUN." Moments later, he's patted down before the clip shuts off. Police later confirmed that everybody inside the car was licensed to carry, and a superior along with a lieutenant arrived on the scene at Crawford's request. Okay, now somebody made a good point who I was speaking to about this, and it was somebody where this parade was happening. They said the whole entire day was about Terence Crawford. There was a whole parade going on. Now, for those who don't know, Terence Crawford just fought, what was it, last week or the weekend before? Undisputed champion, blah, 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 fought Canelo. Huge, wins all these belts, whatever. Big, famous boxer. Now, you're having a parade celebrating your wins. The whole city is aware. Now, at night, you're driving around, and according to the officer, they said that he was driving kind of recklessly, like, okay. And that's the reason why they pulled him over. Okay. By the way, there were like 4 or 5 black guys in the car, but hey, he said he pulled him over for reckless driving. Said once he pulled him over, he saw some GUNs there, and that's when they drew everybody out the car by point, GUN point. Now, again, at the surface of it, you would think, hey, reckless driving, you pull somebody over, you see all these GUNs. But after I spoke with this person, they made a strong point. You know it's Terence Crawford. You know. It's not like you don't know who's in the car. You know. You're a police officer. You knew about there was the parade all day. You know that he's a big famous person, and the people in the car are going to be his security guards. Like, is that surprising? If you pull over a strange person who you don't know and he has security guards and you don't know who he is, I get that. But it's Terence Crawford. You know he's had a big parade all day. Does it make any sense why you'd pull him out? Hey, Mr. Crawford, okay, I see some G-Wins in the car. Are you guys his security? Yeah, okay, can I see your permits? Okay, cool. Or even like, can you guys get out the car? Why you got to take them out the car like that? You know who the man is, you know? Anyways, apparently there is going to be an investigation. If I'm not mistaken, the mayor called him, not necessarily apologizing, but saying, hey, we understand the situation. We will look into this for you, et cetera, et cetera. From what I know now, I don't think the officer who did this has been put on leave just yet, but I'm assuming that's probably what will happen if he can't make the case on why he pulled him out the car like that. And the citation that Terence Crawford got was the kind of like reckless driving, but we'll see if he even contests that, and we'll see what goes on. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, our fourth lead story. All right, I'm going to put two things in one here. The first one is Trump federal takeover in Chicago has started, and also a food delivery man jumps on a bike to escape ICE in Chicago. All right, I'm going to play two videos here back to back, or I think maybe three, just showing you guys, you know, what's going on in Chicago. We do know that Trump is fixated on these, you know, ICE agents and National Guards and, you know, coming to these cities near you. Here is some of the things that's been happening. Take a look.
That's the same thing. Thank y'all. We work for you. We work for you. Get him. What's that?
Donald Trump says the surge in immigration enforcement is to get dangerous criminals off the street. Okay, I hate to like be repetitive and seem like, you know, certain things are not important, but you know, I have a story coming up in Quick Stories where Donald Trump just like woke up today and it's like, I'm putting 100% tariffs on movies. Like, if you do not see the okie doke of Trump trying his best to antagonize the people who don't like him and rile up his base, then, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. And also the fact that he's still trying to conjure enough conversation so we forget about the Epstein files. You have to think about something, right? If there's crime that is happening in these cities, for sure. You have to think about something. If the people in these cities don't want these people there, shouldn't that tell you something? Because anybody would normally want more protection, and it's coming from the federal government. So why, if you are a city or a state, why wouldn't you want free help if there's something really going on? So that's why you should know already that this is not adding up, and you know it doesn't make sense. So like I said, it goes to Epstein, it goes to Project 2025, it goes to Trump's larger plan of just being overly controlling. And like I said earlier, I don't remember in what story, that I always try to see both sides. I always try to be understanding. Some people drag me for it in the comment section. They call me Trent Two Sides. And, you know, I think since Donald Trump has been president, not all, but there has been a few things that I have agreed with. The initial border stuff that he was doing, you know, I thought there was maybe some good in it because not the way I was going about doing it, but everybody on both sides could agree that there was a problem with the border. We just don't like how he went about doing it. So like I said, I always try to give credit where credit is due, even if I don't like the way they're doing it, right? Like I say about Charlie Kirk, I love that he would speak to people. I don't like his message, but I like the intention that he wants to have dialogue. Having said all of that, the past month or the past 2 months, Donald Trump has not done anything good that I could see that I could be like, hey, at least this. I think the one thing is I've said recently was like, at least Trump is going to be Trump in every room. I'll give him credit for that. You know what I mean? Like at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, Nobody talked about politics. He did. Half of his speech was about that. But I think that a lot of the things that he's doing right now is deflection. And I think it's really, really bad. I think it's really unhealthy for the country. And more importantly, I think it's really bad for him. And I think it's bad for the Republican Party. And I think it's bad for MAGA. The midterms are coming up shortly. You already see a wave of special elections and mayoral races and stuff, and Democrats are winning them. And again, I'm not on either side, but for the right-wing MAGA people, your boy is hurting y'all, all right? And they have the presidency, the Senate, the House, and the Supreme Court. That House looks like it might be on its way out. And if Trump continues, they'll lose the Senate too. I actually think it's a good thing if we have some balance. I don't like that everything is over on the Republican side. But like I said, I'm just talking from a strategic point from the Republican side. But I invite having more balance in government. Then Trump won't be able to do whatever the heck he wants. Anyways, that is my update on the issues. And like I've said, every time I talk about Trump, and I'm going to continue, get us the Epstein files. Get us the Epstein files. Comment below and let me know what you guys think. Oh, here is the movie thing. I thought that this was in quick news. Our fifth lead story. Trump announces 100% tariffs on movies made outside the U.S. Trump woke up and posted this. Our movie-making business has been stolen from the United States of America by other countries, just like stealing candy from a baby. California, with its weak and incompetent governor, has been particularly hit hard. Therefore, in order to solve this long-time, never-ending problem, I will be imposing a 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. President DJT. You know that's how he read it back to himself. Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And for people that have watched the show daily, y'all know I'm not completely opposed to Donald Trump's tariffs. I have said that there is a tariff problem and it is imbalance and there are some unfair things. And I even welcome some stock market imbalancing or volatility. I do think the trade negotiations between China have been unfair for a while. And I do like that he's willing, to take his medicine and to take some pain. This is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Anyways, talked enough about Trump today. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Heck no, man. We're gonna protect Tupac here. Our sixth lead story. Kash Patel says people shouldn't mourn black activist Azata Shakur. Very sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. The FBI director Kash Patel posted on X about the passing of Ashta Shakur, saying nobody should mourn her, adding to mourn her is to spit on the badge and the blood of every officer who gave their life in service. Where is his full tweet? Let me see if I have that here. All right, so he said Joanne, I'm not trying to pronounce the last name, didn't fight for justice. She unalived New York State trooper. She unalived him, then fled to Cuba to escape accountability. The FBI never stopped calling her what she was. Mourning her is spitting on the badge of the blood of every cop who gave their life in service. Here she is, here's an old picture of her. I'm not going to get too deep into the story. Oh, I think there was something that Cuba published here too. On September the 25th, 2025, the U.S. citizen Joanne Deborah Byron Aseta Shakur passed away in Havana, Cuba as a consequence of health alignment and her advanced age. Okay. I am not going to get into the depths of this because it's going down a rabbit hole. But I think the bigger issue is like, why is Kash Patel tweeting about this? Like, there is the church situation that's going on. There were 2 other mass unalivings that happened over the weekend. And sorry, I forgot to talk about this yesterday, so I'm throwing this into here too. Over the weekend, there was an unaliving in North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. I know I have a lot of listeners out there. And there was another unaliving in Louisiana, Bourbon Street. And also too, at the church, there will be an increased number of people that will appear inside of the church because of everything that has been happening and like all the rubble. Why are you trying to like do this? Why are you tweeting about this? Like, I just feel like this is like Donald Trump-esque, but we shouldn't be surprised because this is Donald Trump's appointee. 2 weeks ago, they were trying and calling for his, firing from the FBI. I just think that this is ill time and we do not need to talk about this now. She is no longer here. Let it go. I'm not saying if he's right or wrong. I'm just saying why. The reason why I want to talk about this is why at a time what's going on now in the country is Kash Patel tweeting that? That's the question. So if somebody has an answer or disagrees with me, let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, our first quick story. Young Thug explains why he went Caucasian on his album cover. All right, I'll just gonna go straight to the interview. Take a look.
But we always joked and played in my hood like, you want to be the biggest, go white. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said when I put the album cover out, hey, if you want to be the biggest, go white. But it's just all fun. They always let the white people be the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I love white people too. You know what I'm saying? But they always let the white people be the biggest. And
all right, that interview was actually with my boy Loon. I was just with him in Atlanta at the Black Effect Iheart Radio Podcast Festival. Shout out to Loon. People are dragging Thug for this. A lot of people actually called for him to be canceled over the weekend by using the N-word with the hard ER in the first song, and then now putting this white face. I think like the bigger issue I have is Thug had a huge opportunity to put out music. He had the attention of the world, and this is what he does, and he missed the moment. I talked to you guys 2 weeks ago when all those prison phone calls were leaking, talking about everybody in the industry, etc., and then his girlfriend, and then cheating, and Glorilla, her being ugly. If you guys remember all of that, and by the way, Glorilla is gorgeous. Now, if you remember those times, I was like, me being in industry for over 10 years, like I can smell an album rollout when I see one, just like Cardi B in court, and then she ended up using the court pictures. I knew that she set up her album to release around those times. And I was like, these recordings were out a year and a half ago. Why is it only coming out now? Then he's going to be on podcasts and then we're going to get music. So I'm still on the thought of like, this was a setup for an album rollout. Whenever things happen this close and then the album comes out, it was all set up that way. If this was an album rollout and I was correct, and then you go and you put your face as if like you were Caucasian on the album. You start out the first song with the N-word ER and then go on an interview and be like, I just thought it was funny. In the hood, they say like, if you want to go big, go white. But it's just a joke to me. Like, bro, you had the ears of everybody. Why would you do this? You're totally changing the subject. Nobody is impressed by it. Like, you should have came out like your first song should have been like an Usher Confessions, like go right back to the phone calls, go right back to what the people were interested in. Like that is what you should have done. Like, what is this? Anyways, I thought this was a complete miss by Young Thug and his team and all of that. Like this was a miss. We'll see what the numbers look like, but if you ask me, it was a miss. Over the weekend, he was called to be canceled by the people who you want to buy your album. Because he didn't piss off white people. He pissed off black people. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you guys downloaded or listened to the album. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, our second quick story. All right, I wanted to really ask you guys if you believe this. Threads finally passed X, Zuckerberg's 2-year-old platform, past musts in daily users. Threads, Meta's text-based social media platform that sought to capitalize on users' frustration with Elon Musk-owned X, overtook its competitor in daily active users on mobile devices worldwide for the first time this month. So just to make sure, daily active users, okay? So not necessarily signups, but daily active users. Now, I think they're kind of blurring the lines a little bit because I have Threads. I post every day. I post like the link to my show on Threads. Nobody sees it. Like nobody. I am not really on Threads that much, but as I'm going through my feed, Threads is in my Instagram feed, and I can go over to Threads from Instagram. So I ask does it have legitimate daily users? Because to go onto Twitter, I got to open my X. I got to click X and then I'm in there. Could you imagine if X was in my Instagram feed and then it sent me there and then things that people wrote came up in my feed? So I think this is a little bit like of a marketing thing. And more importantly, I wanted to know, do you guys use Threads? Because I don't. Again, I'm a content creator. I'm going to, at the end of the day, as I post my show, I put it in my stories in Instagram. I put it up on X. I put it on Facebook. I put it on Substack. I put it everywhere, right? I even put it on LinkedIn, right? But as a content creator, I'm doing that. I'm saying just as a normal person who's using social media and you work not in the content creation world, do you go on Threads? Does anybody go on Threads? I don't even really go on Twitter. Never was like a Twitter person. I've always been an Instagram person, but let me know who is into Threads in the comment section below. All right, our third quick story. Okay, this could be like in social discussion. Megan Thee Stallion posted this video up on her Instagram. I'm not going to play the video for you because it makes no sense. It's Megan Thee Stallion twerking, right? We've seen that a million times. It's the caption for me. She said, "Okay, hotties, my man gone to work now. Y'all ready for me?" What does that mean? If that was my girl, and I would be like, what does that mean? My man gone to work? Y'all ready for me now? She's talking about Klay Thompson. I have said that I feel like that relationship was like all PR. And trust me, yes, they do that. Remember the overtly like every blog, everything was Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are on a boat. Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are golfing. Megan Thee Stallion are gone fishing. They're gone here. They're playing baseball. They're doing whatever. I was even like copying their dates. It was a thing that I was doing with somebody. I was like, let's just copy everything that we're doing for the fun of it, right? And how come you don't see it anymore? How come no blogs are covering anymore? That should let you know that was like hey, we want to push this out. The whole Tory Lanez thing was happening, and they wanted to kind of put Meg in just like a different light. Like Rock Nation is always, trying to rework the, she's a snitch. She did this to Tory. They're trying to get her out of that whole Tory Lanez thing. So let's just put her with, and then also to the two bad relationships that she was in. They're trying to put her with Clay, who's more clean cut, right? But what does this mean? Does this mean like Rick Ross and his girl, like is the contract up? Is she like, what's going on? I don't know. And if this is a real relationship, guys, how would you feel if you went out to work and your girl put out a twerking video in a one piece and was like, all right, hotties, what'd she say? All right. Okay, hotties, my man gone to work now. Y'all ready for me? Like, what are we supposed to do? Jump on OnlyFans? Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Megan Thee Stallion. And no shade to Megan. Y'all know how much I love Megan, but what's going on? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, our fourth quick story, a little follow-up on David and Celeste. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to edit a bunch of these things out here. All right, DJ Vlad, I'm sure you all know who DJ Vlad is. Big content creator, one of the originals. He said, "I'm not sure if David unalived Celeste. Police found her," I'm actually editing as I'm doing it, found her in his car. It's been proven that they were in some sort of relationship and cops have already searched his home. The fact that he still hasn't been indicted makes me think they have no evidence that he unalived her. So again, this is the latest. Everybody always wants to talk about David and Celeste. I kind of said the similar thing where they went to his house, they've been looking, Even yesterday I said, somebody was telling me like, yo, who in their right mind would unalive somebody, put them in their own car, park them outside for it to be towed into a place? Like, how crazy can you be, right? You would try to hide it some sort of a better way, right? What's your opinion on it? What do you guys think? The police have also said it could take 6 months up to a year. Whenever I hear stuff like this, I feel like there's something shady going on and the police know and they don't want us to know. I think maybe some people are right that David is the fall guy. I definitely know that what he did even prior to that was horrible and disgusting, which we're not even going to get into it now. But the actual point of him being the reason why she's unalived, I don't know if we'll ever know. I don't know if they'll ever solve a crime. And when police don't want to solve a crime, it's because they don't want to. You see what happened with Charlie Kirk? You see what happens when everybody wants to come together and solve something? They can solve something and it doesn't take a year. And this is a national story. Somebody somewhere doesn't want this solved for a reason. I'm going to continue saying that. Even though it makes my mom and my friends scared of things I say on this show. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about David and Celeste in the comment section below. All right, our fifth quick story. Blueface shares pictures from prison. All right, not a big story here, but I'll play some pictures of Blueface. I mean, Blueface definitely has gotten a lot bigger, if you want to say. Like, his face has definitely changed, body has definitely changed. Here's a picture of him from the past. Look, I've always been a big fan of Blueface. I don't know why, but I don't know. I just loved him in Krishan Rock. I don't know. I never watched the reality show, but I always used to cover them on this show. For those of you who are like my daily listeners back in the day. I don't know. There's just something about them that I felt was entertaining. And I really don't like reality shows at all. But Blueface is still inside. I thought it was supposed to be coming out this year. Really weird. But like I said, because I always used to cover them, I just wanted to give you guys an update. Jail's tough, man. Jail's tough. I talked about that with Diddy in my live. And I think people, you sit down at your house and you just hear people like, oh, they've been in jail for a year. They've been in jail for a year and a half. Jail ain't nothing to play with, man. And, that is an example of somebody who has, some money, some notoriety. And, look at what Blueface has turned into. Maybe if he gets out, he kind of, gets back in the industry, cleans himself back up. Him and Krishan get back together. Who knows? But that was an update on Blueface. All right, y'all. This brings me to everyone's favorite segment, comments, social discussion, and memberships of the day. All right, before we get into all of that, I have a very important question to ask you. And I have some updates on a vlog. I just put out a new vlog a couple of hours ago. You guys are going to love it. That's going to be today's social discussion, okay? But before that, I have a very important question for you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is flooded with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsors to my family, friends, and out louders. Or it takes care of the hard part, automatically removing all of your information off of these sites and keeping it off. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like leaving your front door locked, it's like locking your front door, but leaving your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if your credit card, banking, social security number, address, phone is ever found on the net. You get a secure VPN, antivirus, password, and also they have US-based round-the-clock customer service. And in the event that anything should ever go wrong, which I hope it doesn't, Aura also offers a $5 million identity theft insurance package. All right, so you are fully protected. For those of you who have never heard of Aura, they used to be the jersey logo for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've worked with the NBA. They work with me. They are trusted. They are a good protection to have if you're like me and shop on the internet. And like I say every day, even if you shopped one time, your stuff is out there. So sign up with Aura, link below, free 14-day trial to see if any of your data, maybe I'm wrong, just check them out. See if any of your data has been leaked. If it hasn't, you're good. But nobody has ever signed up and they have not found something. They can take it off for you. Okay. Let's go to comments of the day and then we'll get to social discussion. Comments of the day. All right. The first comment is from Mary Ellen Wood. She said, love the vlogs, my friend. That was the vlog I was talking to you guys about, but we'll get to that in 1 second. Thank you, Mary Ellen Wood. Next one comes from Linda. She said, Rem, Erica, Kirk, move over Melania. All right. Some people are agreeing with me. We talked about this yesterday, that Erica Kirk was a little touchy-feely with Donald Trump. And the fact that she actually knew him before Charlie could be the reason why they're a little chummy. Teresa says, Kai did that. Congratulations. So new media, I think she meant congratulations to new media and how we get our information. Great job and 6 likes. Thank you very much, Teresa. Y'all know that I always big up new media, content creators, YouTubers, Kai, streamers. Let's go. Y'all don't have to tune into legacy media or cable. All you need is us. All right. Thank you, Teresa, for that support. Next comment was 2 comments from Emma. Emma Lewis answers the question of the day. If your partner didn't want you posting them, would you see that as a red flag? I would definitely make a mental note and compare it to other observations. If you have more than 3 notes, you have a red flag. All right. Pretty interesting, pretty fair. And Emma Lewis also says, gosh, you keep us in stitches. Okay, I love those kind of comments because I'm here to entertain you, make you think, and yes, keep you in stitches. So Emma, thank you for that. Okay, let's get to social discussion of the day. Hold on. Where is it here? Remember, like I said, no more editing. We're keeping it raw. All right, so today's social discussion, and I've already posted it up, so I'm going to give you guys kind of like a preview. I want you guys to go over, sign up for the membership, and check it out. It's really good. Will protecting my peace keep me single for the rest of my life? Will protecting my peace keep me single for the rest of my life? This goes to kind of like a continuation of vlog number 3. But also has nothing to do with vlog number 3. So vlog number 3 is I was talking about, being, seeing somebody and at the outskirts, like noticing some different cultural things. And like I told you in that vlog, that something had happened to me, but before I could even record, I had worked it out with the girl that we had that very superficial thing, and we worked it out. Great. But I just wanted to do the vlog anyways. Like I said, I was giving you guys insight. So in the vlog, I said, hey, let's talk about it, but it's already solved. And I love that we had solved it even before that. So, that was good on us. But now, so just this vlog 4, just want to let you guys know, has nothing to do with vlog number 3. And then vlog number 4 now is, things didn't work out. Okay, cool. Fine. Again, has nothing to do with the culture thing, but I'm wondering if I am the reason why things never work out. And I am single, as you guys know. I've told you guys that a bunch of times before, but I'm very interested in being in a relationship, especially, now. I feel like, it's been a long time that like I actually really like somebody and felt the things that I felt for this person. And it kind of just like makes me sad a little bit that things didn't work out, but it makes me like think, like, I wonder if because I'm so comfortable with being alone and I'm so comfortable with protecting my peace that I might end up being alone for the rest of my life. And I might end up being single, never getting married, and never having kids. And, my whole thing is, and again, I'm not going to get into the reason why things didn't work out, and I'll get into a little bit more in the actual vlog if you go and see it. But for me, like, I'll see things that are happening and I'll talk about it one time. And again, just to be clear, it has nothing to do with the culture thing. I would never stop being with somebody for a culture issue. But I'll see something and I'll be like, I'll talk to them about it. And then, I'll wait and be like, okay, I didn't get the kind of like the change or the feedback or the communication that I wanted. And for me, communication is like everything. So like, for example, like if I feel like I don't have good communication with somebody and somebody's not like opening and talking with me, I'll be like, yo, I need to protect my peace because I'm always thinking the long term. I think that's the entrepreneur in me or the investor in me. I'm not looking like, yeah, I know next week is going to be great and 2 weeks from now is going to be great because I really love spending time with this person. I really like this person and it's great. Like the feeling is great. And I haven't felt that way in a long time. But what will this be like 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line? What will this be if we ever live together? And I think that, and the minute that I get scared of that long-term thinking and not the short-term thinking, I'm like, I go away. And because I want to protect my peace. I would rather be alone. I would rather be single. I'd rather be by myself. I'd rather have no friends. I'd rather be just me than for anybody to ever, just be in my space that I feel, could be like detrimental to my peace. And I just say my piece to kind of like sum it up. And yeah, I think I'm a little bit worried because, I talked with Mars, who's somebody who I used to do a podcast with. And it was like a love podcast. Like I represented the single guy. Mars was the divorced person. There was a guy who was separated and there was a girl who was in a relationship. And we just used to talk about love. So as you guys know, I use social discussion and question of the day for these things. Anyway, so called up Mars. We did voice notes back and forth. I called a really good friend of mine who knows me for a long time. And I called my mom. I've always talked to my mom about relationships. So that's what the vlog is really about. Me kind of like deep diving into myself and looking at me, and my past and this most recent situation. And I'm like, okay, how long do I keep saying like, whoo, I'm nervous. I'm going to, I don't know, how this is going to be. It's beautiful now, but I see things that might get me worried later on. Do I rush things? Am I not patient enough? Or am I right in saying like, nah, man, you got to trust your gut. You got to trust your instinct. So that's what the vlog is all about. As I was recording it, Mars sent me a voice note and I was like, oh, let me see if I would read. Okay, she didn't send me back a voice note. She sent me back. She said, if you want to take the risk, make sure that it's a person who will be amazing to have a child with. They don't have to be perfect. Marry or get to that okay, no, you guys are not going to understand. I would love to read Mars's comment, but just go to the vlog because if I read this, you're going to get confused because that's the end of our conversation. So go check it out. It's up on the page. Somebody already said, love the vlogs, my friend. So thank you very much about that. I hope that, it's entertaining and not necessarily just entertaining. I hope that it's like something that, will be beneficial for us both. That's what I love about social discussion. And that's what I love about the memberships. We can get a little bit closer. And it's funny, just last thing. It's funny that when I started out memberships, I was like, hey, I thought of a really cool segment to do. You guys could write in and ask me things or ask me my advice. And we found a name and it was supposed to be Run It by Trent. This has totally flipped. And now the membership is, let me run it by the Out Louders. And if that's what it's morphed into, that's fine. Because like I said, I never knew what to give you guys in memberships. A lot of you guys have asked for more personal things, more lives, more whatever. And it's just morphed into this. So I think it's fun and I'm comfortable with sharing a little bit more into my life. I'm not going to give details or names or whatever. But let me know if you guys like it. All right. For those of you who haven't signed up yet, there is always a link below at the first part of the description. So you could click on that link. It will take you to the membership page. There's also a join button or a membership button at the top somewhere. With the membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member only live streams, member only videos, early access to new videos, and membership shout outs. Okay. I think that's about it for membership. So yeah, there's different levels of membership. All you need is the first one. The first one there is the entry level. It gives you access to everything. The other ones are like Out Louder Family, Out Louder Proud. That's if you just want to just have fun and pay a little bit more for the membership. And it's like, hey, I'm buying Trent a lunch this month, or hey, I'm buying Trent a dinner this month. I don't know if you're really, an Out Louder, you appreciate the content. It's kind of just like getting a membership and giving a tip while you give your membership, all right? But just to make sure you understand, the first entry level one is all you need to have access to the videos. And I would love for you to check out the vlogs, all right? That's it. I think we covered everything, right? We did memberships, we did aura, and we did social discussion. That's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Would you date somebody who refuses to celebrate birthdays or anniversaries? Listen, most of the times I wait till the end to tell you, hecky nah. Are you kidding me? Birthdays? Yo, come on. This is what we do, man. I want to know and understand the reason. Another person said, hell nah, my birthday, which was yesterday, is a national holiday. Nah, that sounds miserable. Having somebody who celebrates you is a major green flag, makes life better. I used to date someone like this, and my advice to you is don't. Another person said, no, because I take essentially my birthday very seriously. Before you judge, do your research, ask questions, don't judge. Somebody says, I did refuse everything. Birthday, Mother's Day, Valentine's, anniversary, just a way to control things. He's gone. Thank the Lord. Somebody said no, because they forget your day and special day, but they're normally the person that expects everything from them. All right. I will say though, to be fair, like you guys see every day on the show, I am a very open-minded person, and if I like this person, let's say I met this person, we got along, whatever, blah, blah, and it's like, hey, by the way, I'm not into celebrating birthdays. I'm not into celebrating anniversaries. Here is why. I would understand. Because here's the thing with me is that I don't necessarily like giving specific like gifts on birthdays. Like that's for me. I do it with my niece and nephews all the time where I'm like, just because it's your birthday doesn't mean something or whatever, but I'll take them out. Like when they were younger, I would take them out to Toys R Us on a random day, be like, yo, fill up their carts. So I'm kind of like that, and I'm kind of not like a person that's like, you must spend money or get a gift. I feel like it's better to do something like, thoughtful to a person, you know what I mean? Or do something that will be meaningful. I'm about meaningfulness, you know what I mean? Like I did something for someone's birthday that was meaningful, that I took them somewhere they've never been before. They're going to remember that, but doesn't mean that next birthday I have to do the exact same thing, right? It could be like, I'm cooking for you on your birthday. But my whole point is that you got to do something on someone's birthday. It just doesn't have to be money. But for me, I'm always about meaningfulness. I'm about lastingness. I'm about, you know me, I'm into pouring in and doing whatever. So, and I like to change things up. One birthday might be one thing, another birthday might be another thing, but you'll always be celebrated and you'll always be loved and acknowledged. That to me is a no-go. Whether it's whatever it is, you got to acknowledge those days because it's your special day. Y'all sign off below and let me know what you think. All right, y'all, that is a wrap on today's show. I thought we had a good show. I think it was really fun. Before I let you go, just want to remind you to sign up for memberships. Link below in the description, and also above, you'll see a join or membership button, or just click on one of the vlog videos. It will take you right there to memberships. Do not forget to sign up. We have some fun things coming up. Also, do not forget to sign up with Aura. If you are a shopper online, you do things online, you do not want to shop without your raincoat. Trust me, it is definitely worth protecting yourself, all right? Link is below for that too. Also, there's a QR code, and it's free for the first 14 days, so sign up. They'll show you what they can do. Also, I just want to remind you all the ways to keep up with the Shine Out Loud show. For those of you who want to those of you who want to listen on podcast platforms, we're available on all of them. Just go to any site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you'll be notified every time we upload a new show. And if you haven't known, we upload daily, 7 days a week. We are working for y'all, all right? Now, for those of you who are like me and love to watch video, I need to see the people talking to me. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud, 5 things I'm gonna need you to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're gonna need to get the algorithming. Make sure you please try to comment. We do this podcast. Keep on saying podcast. We have changed it to show. I do this show. It's called the Trend Out Loud show. I do this show with you. And if I'm asking questions or bringing up subjects and you guys are not answering me, I'm here talking by myself. All right. So that's not fun. For those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation, no pressure. I totally get it. Please try to at least let me know where you are watching from, because this is a global podcast and I love to see the country and city you are watching from. What else? Oh, if you are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. It helps in growing the channel. And fifth, like I said, sign up to our memberships. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, we are very active on the Trend Out Loud show on Instagram. That's where we post all the stories that we talk about in the day. We're active on there. Keep up to date with our Instagram page, The Trend Out Loud Show. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace!